He touched himself while listening to her voice. This is what is being accused of Luca in this whole situation when he was Java in the past, and we'll take a look at it. This is a long 79-page document, so you can put it on 2x if you want. You can put it on any speed that you want, 1.5x, whatever it is, in order to be able to get through it. I am going to do my best to read all of it, but of course, it being as long as it is, I want to be good with it, and I will be probably reading it slow. So there's trigger warnings for those things. Discord message of 1BU or RE, it's Java Luca. He changed his Discord name and profile several times. The document exists. She goes through this. Basically, she exists that the reason why she does it now is no one used to care, but now with all the stuff that's popping out, she feels like she can finally say her message. Who she is, she started streaming on Twitch in 2014, was a partner in 2015, worked as a community manager for large game publishers, worked at agencies, basically giving the background of herself. She's been known as Razio Romanic up until he became Luca. And he made a new alias, Mizuchi. She made a Mizuchi when she became Luca's, friend and also community manager or background manager. After losing contact with Luca, I decided it would be the healthiest decision to abandon the Mizuchi pseudonym, as she says right here, and went back to original alias, Razzo Warmonic. Java and I were extremely close and never dated or met up IRL. He was 18 and I was 24 when we first came in contact with each other. She's saying this specifically because she does have accusations that she groomed him. She does have accusations of her being there way before. So the history of Pre Nijisanji, according to what it says here, goes, Java and I met in VR chat sometime in early December 2018. We were a part of 18 plus VR chat lobby ran by a streamer for content by the name of Rafflegator. Lobbies were roleplay oriented and took place in a bar in a Rafflegator commissioned and owned. We started interacting with each other when Java asked Rafflegator if he could set up a character date with me, with both characters having a date with each other. This was a very popular form of RP at the time at Rafflegator's lobby, so it was nothing out of the ordinary. The type of improved RP in this particular lobby thrived on silly, awkward situations mainly, so I agreed and went on an RP date. I even told Java after the RP out of character to make things abundantly clear and set boundaries that I was not interested in dating, and that was just strictly an RP thing, which he agreed and said he wasn't looking to date either. We became friends and added each other on Discord early January 2019, where the majority of the conversations would discuss RP scenarios for our characters. Talk about VR chat in general, I would help him with VR chat avatars, and get feedback from him on mine. So far, so good. We gradually became close friends. Java would start inviting me to private worlds to open up about his home situation and his mental and physical abuse from his family. He would tell me that he never felt comfortable talking about this stuff with anyone before, so in return, I would share stories about my abuse growing up as well and how I dealt with those tough situations. Java knew I had a long-term boyfriend at the time, and I played VR with my older brother's family in the family's room. So I did not have a private space. I never did anything sexual or suggestive in or outside of VR at this time. Again, this is her claims, and I'm going to take them as just, claims that are being done by this person. Whether true or not, I can't tell. I wasn't there. January 17, 2019, Java would once again invite me to a private world. We were both in full body tracking in VR chat. We discussed RP and made small talk before Java would go silent. At first, I thought maybe this mom came into his room, as she often did, and he muted himself to talk to her. I kept talking as I could see him moving slightly, but he kept silent. I asked him if everything was okay, and he said it was. I then asked him what he was doing. It was there, without asking me if it was okay, out of the blue, and no prior consent, and no boundaries, with boundaries already made clear that I did not want to date. He told me he was touching himself to my voice. Now, this is disturbing. This is probably not the first time a woman's ever going to experience this, probably not the last time a woman's ever going to experience this, but this is disturbing. This is wrong. It is kind of just not something you do. Number one, you don't touch yourself to someone else's voice. Number two, you don't mention that you touch yourself to someone else's voice. That is just weird, and it will make the person feel very uncomfortable, of course. I froze up. I honestly didn't know how to respond at the moment, so I just kept talking. Luckily, it did not last long because suddenly I would see his avatar's head drop to the floor and he would go offline. I would find out shortly after Discord DMs that his mom had walked in on him. I didn't know how to respond, given I was told by him his mom would still physically abuse and yell at him. So my brain switched to make sure he was okay, as opposed to addressing what he did with me, as you can see in the DMs below. And here you have the DMs below about him saying his mother caught him, and, them going through that whole process. Personal space, holy F. No, it's okay. I'll give you an update. My mom is literally having an effing meltdown. I'm really sorry. No, it's literally okay. Hope you're safe. There's going to be a limit to use of internet, which of course there would be in a lot of those situations. As long as you're safe, there's some time limit to my use of internet, and we'll only be able to use it for 2 hours forever. Yeah, it's being a C. Basically, he got his stuff taken away because he was still living at home and was still under the control of his mother. which happens sometimes if you're around narcissists or things like that. At some point, I would start streaming again. We both continued to appear in Rafflegator's stream lobby as I would stream on the side, in which Jaffa would heavily be involved of his own volition. He would go as far as to wake up early in the morning, 4 a.m. Australian time, so he could come to my stream. I did not ask him to be on my stream. He wanted to do this of his own accord. Jokes and teasing started to form around him orbiting and being lost without me on Rafflegator and my own stream. We even had an emote on my channel dedicated to him named Raz Orbiter that was just his VR chat avatar's face. I do greatly appreciate him helping me and appearing on my stream in this day, however. Unfortunately, this was just the start of the obsessive and possessive behavior by him. Off stream, we would hang out in VR chat as well as public worlds with our friend groups to meet and talk with new people. His HTC Vive VR headset would end up breaking and he would be without it for a couple of months. During this time, I would learn to lap dance in VR chat and he would become upset when I would dance for other people or even talk to other guys if he didn't like how they approached or jokingly flirted with me. We got into a bit of an argument over this. I would tell him multiple times to knock it off and it wasn't appropriate, since she had before said that they weren't going to be a thing. After establishing more boundaries and being understood by both of us, we were able to continue our friendship, but this isn't to say smoothly. I still felt obligated to talk and be with him because of the way he would get upset, or at least I felt like I had to keep conversations with others short. I felt like I couldn't even go visit another friend in VR chat real quick and say hi without potentially upsetting him. We were always with other friends when I did this, so I wasn't leaving him alone. Not that I should have mattered. Java struggles with respecting LGBTQIA plus community. He would admit to harassing a trans male coworker by misgendering them on purpose. And here she has her proof. Again, this is Java as 1BU in this case. I pissed off somebody at work today. How'd you do that, goofball? This B was being a bit hypocritical about biology and S. You know what that thing was talking about? You get a blood transfusion from a blank guy, then logically you're a part of blank for a bit. This is showing bad understanding of biology and possibly a little bit of, discrimination. OMFG, she took it to heart and said, well, you are not, because biologically you are not. So today, and she has this blanked, I don't know why. We have a trans male in our workplace. My friend referred to her as a he, and I was like, she's a girl. Then the B was talking to last week, told me to leave, and I was like a bit hypocritical of you, because biologically she's a girl. Now you're telling me to believe a logic more than biology, and you told me the reverse last week. Pick your battles, this probably shouldn't be one of them. I know, she's so blank. He also has a history of being scared of males who identify as gay. He would get freaked out if a male hit on him or if someone joked about him being gay in any way. So he doesn't like anyone being gay in any way around him. At least that's what this person's claiming, what Raziel is claiming. And she has proof to back it up. My mom was asking me if I have a girlfriend. I said no, and she's like, why? And I told her I was gay, LOL. That's not something to joke about. What did she say? She said, you're gay? No, Ray, really? I was like, LOL, F no. And then she's like, you little S, thank God. Oh my goodness, these people. Then we walked for the next 20 seconds and asked me, are you actually gay? Did it again. Well, are you? Hell no. I hate when people say they're little gay and everyone. I hate when people try to be discriminatory towards others. I have a brother myself who's gay, and it really does tick me off when people are this discriminatory. I'm sorry, it's a personal thing. I know it's a personal thing. I shouldn't get angry at this, but it really pisses me off because I would defend my brother against anything, you know? This is the mindset that he had not grown out of since he last spoke. In the screenshot below, you can see as late as January 2023, he expressed that transgender individuals make him uncomfortable, despite the role Java often played for Rafflegator, where he would hit on males while pretending to be a woman. It says, yeah, people make me uncomfortable, and pregnant women. Java and I would make friends with someone else by the name of Trouser Gravy, and we all became close friends. Trouser and I were older than Java, so we would often advise him on his hard situations online and IRL. We even split the cost of gifts to send him for things like his birthday and Christmas. Java would then start to lie about his activities to both of us or blow us off when we planned to do something together as a group like play Monster Hunter. So he started blowing him off, which would tick anybody off, honestly. Trouser Gravy also would be there to see Java get upset over the above aforementioned events. Trouser Gravy and I would heavily encourage Java to go out with his friends, IRL, and even meet with girls he still talked to after school and were still interested in him. Do you remember what we used to argue about? Raziel asked. Trouser Gravy says his family life was a big one. How his mom treated him was usually the top one. Him never doing what he said he was going to do, him doing the opposite of what he said he was going to do, or just lying about doing it badly, like getting caught hanging out with doing something he said he literally wasn't doing. There was one I remember actually about people looting him, so you told him to set boundaries, but he never did, and just complained about it a lot, but never did anything. That was either about VRC or when he just started to stream. Probably both, honestly. He complained about Rob using him for views. which was true. But he loved the attention from Rob's streams, so he just kept hanging around with him. Java was not a good liar. He would come up with fake excuses to blow us off, then get on VR chat to be on Rafflegator's stream, which are two very easy things to look up. There is no offline mode in VR chat, and he was on our friend's stream. We would fight about him lying to me about this. Our arguments became more frequent. I would have to sit there and console him for hours as he would get upset over him lying, but also over menial things like me not caring about the same anime as him. Our friendship still persisted, however. Java would start stream on his Twitch channel under the name Java with 4 A's. He decided to do this after gaining popularity by pretending to be a girl in VR chat to trick popular streamers, such as Soda Poppin', by seducing them and then revealing he was a guy on Rafflegator's stream. I would more or less stop streaming to help Java focus on his stream. This is when I would start to manage his channel and community. My work included keeping him company on stream per request, suggesting games for him to play based on popularity, managing sponsorships, cultivating and managing his community, running and helping his moderating team, coming up with subathon goals, and executing the goals that didn't directly involve him, and streaming for him at least once a week so his channel would keep a consistent schedule. Java would lie about his revenue to me, making less than he was telling me during this time, about going to school, he wasn't even enrolled, and among other things. He would end up making 2 sock puppet Twitter accounts to harass others during the Nijisanji audition process, one named Lolly Springer and the other named Poggers Woggers. Those names are wild. But okay, he did these things, and she has the proof here. Poggy Woggy Champ, this is such a weirdly specific thing to lie about on 2 separate alts. CCVR, male VTubers at the moment are just not entertaining. They are more focused on complaining and being sad about being a male VTuber. 98% don't have the personality for it. We've yet to see a dominant VTuber, individual male VTuber, and I can only name a couple that will even take the spot soon. Then Lolly Springer, again, one of the alts for Java, or at least one of the alts that is claimed to be for Luca. It says, I'm not saying you complain. Most just not have the mentality to aim for the top, and you can agree most do. Phantom Master again. I have, and this is Lolly Springer saying it, I have 2 friends that got their email 2 weeks and a half ago. Aside from that, they can't say anything else. If you haven't gotten anything, you didn't make it. Talking about the Nijisanji stuff. Nijisanji, him trying to get into Nijisanji at this point. This is such a weirdly specific thing to lie about on 2 separate alts. Help it out, Pog. It's Poggers Woggers. About Java, hi there. He retweeted himself. Then you go, no second round started 3 days ago. Oh my gosh, just got my second email from Nijisanji and have the video interview on Friday, wish me luck. They look at your application first. If it's not good enough, they don't watch you. I wonder when there will be an individual male dominant VTuber that doesn't complain all the time about being oppressed. Rather, actually prove that male VTubers can just do as well. They can. They can do just as well. They just have to be entertaining. They have to, capture the audience, so to speak. Bah, one of my favorite VTubers is a dude, and they're amazing. Lots of charisma. Naturally entertaining. Funny as hell with an adorable laugh, and always a great joy to watch. If they should happen upon this post, I hope they ignore you because your comment isn't really helpful. It's really unhelpful. Who asked? Again, him being an edgy teen, I'm guessing at this point. Down even more. CC, read the room. Just saying, most don't have the drive to be number 1 and accept that it's a female-dominated space. Therefore, stop putting yourselves down and actually start doing. Then again, there are things you can just change about you. There are things you can't just change about you. My mistake. I would attempt to get into these accounts by using the same passwords he had given me before or other things. It worked. So I verified these accounts were his by almost gaining access to them, in which Twitter said an email was sent to the email I recognized as his for 2FA. So she used the password that he gave her for his main account, and it was the same for his alt accounts. The only reason she wasn't able to get in is because I sent an email to Luca. He wasn't even aware he was in Nijisanji at this point, as it was still too early in the process. When I confirmed the accounts were his, I confronted him about it. At first, he would deny it. He then would admit to it when I showed him the proof of me getting into the accounts. I felt obligated to cover this up to the people who were accusing him. So she protected him. That's her fault too. I would also prevent him from talking about other stuff that would get him into trouble, such as a ban he would incur while in the popular GTA 5 RP server NoPixel for harassment, for this specific type of harassment. Now, we're going into the proof that was here. We had multiple reports of you pushing S harassment during and going against TOS on a 911 call in the RP server. The RPer wasn't comfortable with the direction it was heading in terms of him RPing that his blank was damaged, causing him to sound like a woman, and begged us to help him put it back. You made a racially offensive remark during the helicopter ride back to the city as well. Try to grab an EMS's inappropriately. Forcing this type of RP on others when they continue to ask you to stop and refuse the direction you are going into is a direct terms of service violation and a rule break of NoPixel and Twitch. I wanted to reach out to you and let you know why you were removed from the community at this time. So NoPixel admins got rid of him because he harassed people and he was inappropriate with people, which seems to be a running theme here. This was Java copy and pasting the reason why he got banned from NoPixel admins. This would continue until he was offered to be part of Nijisanji and graduated his channel, because that's what Nijisanji asked for. History as Luca. I remember when Java got an email asking for an interview from Any Color as we were hanging out in VR chat together when he randomly started to shout and exclaim that he got the email. We were both beyond excited. He asked me what he should wear, sent me a pic of his outfit before a video interview to make sure he looked okay, and he told me about what they said and asked him after the interview. He would be accepted into Nijisanji's roster to debut in the first English male wave under Luxium, so he's in the Golden Boy wave. Our relationship was still very good at this point. We would spitball names for his character, and we only had the image below to go off of. He came up with the title Little Lion Plush Mascot, the little lion plush mascot that's on his side, and had someone whom we both commissioned from come up with a lot of ideas before he settled on the current design. He couldn't come up with a name for it, so I ended up naming it Augustus. We would talk about his aspirations, like how he didn't want to become like other male VTubers. He wanted to go with a non-boyfriend experience, he didn't want to pander or sell out, he wanted to be a non-lewd say-so personality, and really play into Mafia-esque character, which is what he has here. Most things he was commissioning for his debut went off without a hitch. But he would express frustrations on certain things such as commissioning an overlay and not liking it, that the person who was supposed to create it, his intro, starting screen was ghosting him, that he was bad at PowerPoints, that he needed someone to make his debut slides look pretty. I stepped up and offered to do these things for him because remember, Zion Lanza said that they do not help you with their debut. You're the only one that can deal with your debut. They give you no support, and this is more proof of that they give you no support. He was my friend, and he was frustrated. I wanted to help him the best I could, especially since his debut was very close at this point. And here she has the proof. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in these screenshots. Of course, screenshots can be faked, so we don't know, but she's showing a lot of proof. So that tends to be maybe that there's something behind it. Welcome back. So you need me to pretty up your PowerPoint, top priority. Stinger, schedule, outro, lowest priority. Am I missing anything? 1BU, which is Luke at this point, says that's really about it. I kind of feel bad for making you do so much. I need to really learn this S for myself. I can relate to that. Shortly after Luxium debut, Luca would completely cut off contact with the friends he made before Nijisanji, so he cut contact with friends. He never voiced any issues with these friends before and would often hang out with them. To my understanding, when he talked later about friends treating him poorly, he was strictly referring to Rafflegator. Luca and I would start to grow apart. He would accuse me of expecting too much of him. All I would ask is if he wanted to play a game together, get in VR chat, or watch something, which his friends do, comparing me to his abusive mother, and would victimize himself if I did ask. He kept reassuring me that I could go to him for anything, vent anytime, and would even love bomb me, often in the morning after he woke up. When I did ask to hang out or vent, he would get upset, then he would make me feel guilty and minimize my feelings because he could never do enough, and he could never live up to my expectations. So he is trying to make her feel like the bad person. This got worse and worse as time went on. It's kind of like, I don't know, kind of feel like gaslighting. I might be wrong. The Ringfit Adventure incidents. This happened early on. Luca and two moderators at the time, including me, Luca streamed Ringfit for the first time while I couldn't attend his stream. I rewatched part of it and saw his chat, and knowing his best friend for years at this point, I asked him after if he was comfortable with what he was being said in chat. He told me he wasn't, and didn't like being sexualized, and just wanted to work out on stream while being entertaining. I took this as I should moderate this behavior in the chat and steer people away from posting sexual comments. Luca would stream Ringfit again, where I would be more active in moderating. Myself and the other mod had no channel rules at this time, so we had to do things at our own discretion. Going back to moderating for Java, which is Luca, he knew me well, and I would joke around with them to try to softly steer conversations in other directions as opposed to a more harsher moderation approach, unless I absolutely had to. So I did the same thing in Luca's second Ringfit stream. This was taken in a wrong way. I didn't ban or time out people, or using the hot sweating emoji face, but I did encourage the use of another one when a user suggested it. I only timed out people for obvious S-posts. I called out one user for accusing Luca of moaning on purpose and told him he was breathing heavily because he was working out very hard. The stream went on without any issues until the very end, where someone would super chat Luca asking why his moderators were banning people. We weren't. And Luca would say that he would talk to us, his moderators. I ended up messaging him in a panic, letting him know that we didn't ban anyone, only timed people out. I talked to him after stream. He would craft a tweet and ask if it was okay to post that he trusts his moderators. I told him it should be okay and hopefully clear the air about this. I would sit on Twitter and apologize personally to people about what happened during his stream to explain the timeouts. Some took this as an attack, which led to both Luca and I being attacked, harassed, doxxed by having our pictures plastered across various social media sites, and more. I personally received multiple death threats. This put a giant strain on our relationship. I even asked to speak to his manager at Nijisanji to better formulate a plan on how to best handle this. Both Luca and his manager ignored me, so she got ghosted by both of them. Luca just told me to be a silent mod after that. And here's Luca's post. I trust my moderators to do their jobs. Don't lie to me and say they were banning people because of an emote when all they were doing was timing out very weird comments. Stop it. It was all a misunderstanding. So he's trying to get, people off of their backs, which, as we all know, doesn't really work very well. Going back to when Luxium debuted, Luca would complain and start comparing his numbers to his wave mates, people like, Vox and such. He always been obsessed with comparing himself to others and is always worried about his viewer count and how many people are talking to him in chat. This number fixation is what drove him away from what he originally wanted to portray. He would be upset if I took notice of his new stream personality and overall content change. Luca would start to pander more. He would go Fujo bait with the other boys and started to shift towards more boyfriend experience type, the thing that he first claimed he didn't want. He would get frustrated and sad that I didn't watch his streams anymore, which was for numerous reasons. One was a content shift. The other was a time slot, which was quite late for me. I would occasionally watch his streams, but I couldn't even talk about them because it was like walking on eggshells. I couldn't joke about the things he did or say, as he would get upset at me, yet somehow all we would talk about was Nijisanji and his streams. This here is Luca talking about I don't know what. Jesus, there are so many shirtless fan arts. I cannot retweet them because it'll just be weird. Oh, he's getting fan arts as Luca at this point. Thinking about my voice tweet 1 hour ago being S, making me uncomfortable, and I don't want that up. He would get extremely frustrated, uncomfortable about people, sexualizing him early on, especially if they compared him to Vox Akuma, which I guess he had imposter syndrome there. He would deny I was being sexual. This message in reference to this voice tweet. And she has a voice tweet here, which we can take a look at and see exactly what it is. Here. This one.
350K. Huh?
And that's it. That's I don't want to play too much of it because, copyright and all that kind of stuff, but that's what it is. He believed he deserved as much attention as his other waves were getting, mainly Vox. He would constantly be on sites like 4chan and blame it on Selene showing him. He would go ego search on Twitter and tell me about it. He would show me fan art clips of people were making of him nonstop and what they were saying about him. He would message fans and lie about it to me directly until this one artist came out about it and I told him he was stupid for having casual conversation with his fans like that. Bye, I'm winning Zisora, Luxium Simp, Night, you too. He had Discord stuff with his fans. Oh my goodness. Okay, haha, I'm gonna flex this. Okay, but seriously, Sobs, he's so kind. Context, I think he's gonna talk about it tomorrow if he feels the need to do it. Oh my god, congrats, Sora-san. It was nothing though. I mean, he's gonna talk about it something tomorrow if he feels like the need to say it. But for now, just let him do whatever he needs to do. He would use against the modeller's rules, a password protective MMD model of Luca in VR chat if we ever did hang out in VR chat. So the modeler wanted it to be open and he would password protect it. He would go undercover in the Nijisanji Express train world Selene made, and eventually the Luxium VR chat would interact with fans, and even reveal he was Luca in disguise. That's just, again, he seems to be liking catfishing a lot. It's not your model anyway. You can ask permission from that person. You don't understand. I shouldn't even be using it because the company makes us one. Oh, so he was using one that he shouldn't even be using. This is Luca lamenting that Luca Kaneshiro MMD model he downloaded was password protected and admitted he shouldn't be using it. During one of his streams, Luca would play copyrighted music from Tokoyami Toa of HoloLive. He found a random YouTube playlist of copyright-free music and did not vet it and thought it would be okay to play the music on stream. He has a habit of asking for forgiveness later instead of asking for permission. Luca would antagonize the 4chan after a handcam stream where he carved a jack-o'-lantern in October 2022. The tweet would have random capitalized letters that would read "Rent L free." I would express to Luca about how this wasn't safe. Really had fun today. Looking forward to next week's schedule. Thank you. And yeah, that you do not go against 4chan because 4chan will be insane on you. And yes, of course, it was bad that he did the thing to the music. And she links the tweet, which is a direct link to that tweet. One of the earliest instances of this was when Luca was having a spat with Ike. Ike would offer to mix one of Luca's covers and would go silent on updates. This would lead Luca to pester him for updates, and upon receiving none, he would commission someone else. After he told Ike this, Ike would start to talk to him again and would allegedly accuse Luca of wasting his time and would get upset about it. So Ike was trying to be a friend with him, and apparently Luca was just not doing a very good job of that. Ike would also be vocal on streams such as Friday the 13th and Among Us VR collab about how Luca annoyed him which in turn caused Luca to be frustrated at him. 1BU, which is Luca at this time. I'm just resting, yeah, I'm debating on messaging Ike that he's been an effing D this past week. Ooh, what have you been doing? And she has the popcorn out. He's just been very vocal about how that he dislikes me on stream. So he's vocally on stream saying that he dislikes somebody in his own, in EDN and in his own wave. Damn, WTF, why lol? Don't know, the guy generally gets mad at games. Ooh, Friday the 13th stuff? Yeah, he does seem to mauled pretty hard. I mauled pretty hard too. He said multiple times it's not funny if it's me. He doesn't find my jokes funny, tells me to go away, ignores me, told me to talk without laughing for once, and cause it's annoying that he can't understand me. Now, I had gone over this particular picture before, and I'll explain to you guys what it is because it's really small. For Luxium's first anniversary, Luca would attempt to gather Luxium for ideas on what to do with their first anniversary. She would be the only member to reply to him. Luca expressed frustration with how other livers acted towards him because of this. And here he's basically acting, is like, look, since we're all going to be in the same area or we're going to be close to each other, we should do a kind of a live stream where we all, live stream together, kind of like other waves have been doing. Again, paraphrasing everything. Like other waves have been doing, I've seen other waves do this. We should do an off collab at the very least or some other kind of collab. She responded, it's like, oh, this sounds really good. I'm going to be here, here, and here. This may be a good idea. Vox also said, this sounds like a good idea. We have to work out the kinks though. Luca, again, went through everything about talking collabs. He also added everyone again about the collab thing. Shu is the only one saying he doesn't have any plans so far, but it would be nice to, be able to do that for the channel and the group and the program. And that was where it was left off because no one, Ike supposedly at this point didn't like him. Vox and others were probably annoyed at him for immaturity and such, according to what she's saying. Again, alleged, all alleged right now, so that's what's going on that one. The AR live would be canceled and everyone in Luxium would go on strike except for Luca. Luca would express disdain for this and how the wave mates handled the situation, including slighting management on Twitter. Vox would try to organize meetings to bring grievances to management, such as their merch cut. He would call this wave mates childish to me and express how he and Illyra would discuss the other livers' behaviors during this time. So this is where we get Illyra getting into all of these things. The click theory is kind of showing itself a little bit more now. Again, this is all allegations. This is all someone else's opinion. Someone who doesn't have proof of Illyra doing this, but it all makes sense if you are to believe the Gurrats and you're to believe the way that Illyra has been acting with the black stream and all that kind of stuff. He would ignore my request of not talking about Nijisanji 24/7 and would instead get me involved with his work doing things like building Disneyland, which was a Minecraft thing, so we could spend time together. Now here's what she goes over her work for Luca. I was paid in cash or gifts for everything I did for Luca, except for mod work. I tried to make a simple contract with Luca later on, as he wanted to pay me monthly salary more or less be an assistant and work on various projects for him, in which he denied the contract and wouldn't allow me to send invoices for the work. I would have to remind him monthly to pay me the amount he said he would, and he would send me the money via PayPal with a label as commissions or as my birthday. And here she has the damning proof, if these are to be believed. Again, everything with a grain of salt, because it's the internet, people can lie. But here she has everything. Luca Kaneshiro, happy birthday, Luca Kaneshiro. Commission, Luca Kaneshiro. Commission, Luca Kaneshiro. Commission services, commission, all from Luca Kaneshiro. So she has proof. At least she's showing receipts or trying to show receipts. So people won't be like, oh, you're lying. Now we move on to one of the nitty gritty things, the mod work. Myself and a fan from Luca's past life were his two mods. We had a private Discord set up for our mod activities. There's also been no activity in it since I was modding for him. The other moderator and I had zero direction for his channel and we're completely left to judge things for ourselves. Something would come up like his chatters calling him daddy, and would have him ask after the fact if he was okay with it or not. And he would often give us a straight answer. He often didn't give us a straight answer. Or he would say he was uncomfortable with something, then go on and do it anyways. After the Ringfit incident, we both told him he couldn't avoid making rules any longer. We came up with a pretty standard VTuber chat room rules for him, which he disliked, but decided to implement and added unclear wording to it by rewriting all of them to include Twitch slang as in POG, as you can see here. So he did the POG and unPOG thing. Don't be weird, champion. That is super unPOG. This is cringe. This is just reading. This is cringe. Be respectful to one another. We only POG and are not weird. Please avoid one-man spamming, okay? Do not backseat unless I say so. And yes, that includes spoilers. Please stay on topic during the stream and do not mention other streamers unless I am talking about them, which is a normal thing. After the Ringfit incident, we would also have to start explaining every single timeout and ban to Luca in the Discord by screenshotting what earned them the timeout ban with an explanation per his request. So now they had to do a lot of extra work in order to not anger the Luca monster, it seems, or the person that they're considering a Luca monster at this point. It just seems weird. It seems strange. So he says I would provide constant technical support. The example below is me trying to help Luca Chilla's art game, which had uncapped FPS and was lagging his stream. He would often ignore the help. When he has technical issues, he gets angry and frustrated, shuts down. Luca never tests, downloads, or troubleshoots games or equipment until a couple of minutes before the stream, leading to issues. Again, here it says, not turning on. Sag, Raziel, what do you mean not turning on? Well, I'm clicking it, but it doesn't even turn on. Like the window is not popping up? Yeah, it's not popping up. I would tell you to use Riva Tuner. Afterburner. Yeah, Riva Tuner, Afterburner. You can cap the FPS. That's one of those things that you can do. Download this. Whenever I stream games like this, it ruins my mood times 100. Credited works. I was credited for doing his intro video and some initial overlays when he debuted as Mizuchi VT. So here you have Mizuchi VT, which is Raziel, which Raziel right now is using the exact same, if I'm not mistaken, the exact same PNG, like PFP profile picture for her Raziel Warmonic to kind of tie things together. I was also credited for project management for the Luxium VR Chat theme park. I also had to gather a lot of screenshots and information for this, the behind the scenes stream he did after the anniversary. Thank you to everyone who worked on the world, project organization, me, Mizuchi VT, and world design, leveling, legends, etc. During the Luxium VR Chat theme park project, I was not allowed to speak to the other commissioned artists on the project until late in the process, which led to it being unfinished. When I did ask Luca to do or say something, it would take him a long while to respond, or I would have to ask multiple times. I was also not allowed to speak with the rest of Luxium until I get a better understanding of what they would like to represent themselves with in each of their areas. I would love to scour through wikis, streams, clips, fan art, Twitter, etc. to gather information on each Luxium member, but that takes a lot of time. That does actually take a lot of time. Uncredited works. This is where she did things behind the scenes and supposedly there was nothing that was credited to them. Well, I did more than what was listed below. These are just more standout moments. I was essentially his assistant with that. And with that came a lot of smaller projects like making graphics for posting on Twitter, editing overlays, stream thumbnails, curating popular game lists, making banners for various social media sites, getting fan art for him, and more. 1. Formatting his debut representation. This was done in another document that she mentioned. The Disneyland, not only was this when he would give me his any color internal email address so I could log into his Minecraft account, I would end up making the majority of Luca's Disney theme park in Minecraft. This included but is not limited to the entrance, the carousel, the underground water roller coaster, the decorations, pathways, food stall seating area, Ferris wheel, wall around Disney, part of the underground tunnel to Pomu's park, and sprucing up, redecorating things Luca had made. For the maze, I planned everything out for him and set it up so he could build it on stream in non-creative mode. Here are a couple of work in projects screenshots that she sent him. All this stuff at nighttime with, of course, RTX on type of thing. So everything was in there. It says, while Luca Kaneshiro Minecraft account, while in Luca's Kaneshiro Minecraft account, I was building the Disneyland theme park when Pomu Rainpuff logged in and saw me. I was on Luca's account while it was late for him and he was asleep. She attempted to contact me, but I logged off instead as no one knew it was me on the account and I wasn't supposed to be using his company Minecraft account, as he told me he could be terminated if anyone else knew. So she had the access. She shouldn't have been on there, but she was trying to get things done. And there was a little bit of run-in with Pomu. Pomu was nice, So Oki and then the he whatever. Basically, this is her. This is him saying things, and this is her here. I dropped my spaghetti. Don't want to say something weird. Luca, do you ever log out? And then he logged out. But why though? This is Ri, which is Luca again. All you gotta say is Pog. Weirder when I don't say anything. So he got angry at her. Minecraft Sports Carnival. From what I gathered now, this never happened. It was a tournament Luca was planning to run with Nijisanji EN that included popular Minecraft minigames. I ended up making the logo and some decorations in game for it and getting him a list of minigames that he could include before working project shots of the logo that was done to complete with a fireworks show. And the fireworks show is there. And wow, those are nice fireworks. Stream overlays. I edited overlays for his stream, but one that went completely uncredited was the last minute overlay I did for his Pokemon stream seen below. Schedule graphics. At some point, Luca would express multiple times that he didn't like his current schedule graphic. I asked what he was looking for and came up with a temporary one for him to use, in which he didn't credit me at all for either while he found someone to commission. Before this, I was also responsible for editing and filling out graphics for his schedules. I even went out of my way to message artists to make sure it was okay to use their art in graphics at the beginning. And there's the graphics that she was doing, and there are the things that she sent to him, and it says, I don't know if I have to, but I'll get permission from them, and then all these things here. Mizuchi and I do graphics for Luca Kaneshiro schedule every week. I wanted to use your artwork from Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Is that okay? You will be credited. Here's a preview of what art to look like in the schedule. It says, hello, Mizuchi. Of course, yes, with pleasure. I'm glad you used it. Thank you for always making wonderful schedule graphics. So she actually tried to get, people to allow this to happen, which is not bad. New schedule that the person made looks really nice. It's a really nice schedule. Second outfit, lore story, video script. I would end up writing lore and video script for Luca's second outfit reveal. You can find the original documents lore here. She has it linked with the docs.google and the video script with the docs.google. It was often hard to get feedback from Luca as it would take him days to get back to me. Now let's take just a quick look at them and just give you an idea. Here's everything, the visuals, the long jazzy night, another 4-page thing. She puts everything, the things that he would say, the scenario behind it, everything would be put in there. And right here, the Luca Lore V2 video script, Luca date you, restaurant owner, pretty much a full script of how it would look. Everything, the woman, everything there. See, that's basically MC Twisted Wonderland. All these things were put in there. All of those things. So she did a lot of work herself. And right here, she puts working on the story. This is nothing. This one isn't new because this one has been done in one of her previous post about all the situation. So this one isn't new. She says, I don't know how long you want this to be. I'm trying to keep it short and simple without being too short and simple. Also trying to keep the date androgynous. And again,
I'll let you hold my hand and we can...
She says after adding him, because I guess he didn't respond in time, if you want to take a look at it, I'd say it's like a third done. I wasn't going into too much detail about the date since it's kind of unnecessary. Spent more setting up the whole scenario than I would focus on the date. Basically, she's explaining to him what's going on here. Everything about the outfit reveal, how it's going to go, how she plans for it to go, the outfits that she sent him, that he sent her, because this is 1BU, which is Luca. Luca sent her the outfits. Take the blazer suit off. I'm not that bold, so kissing as soon as we meet is too much. I made the changes. Let me know if they suit you better. Change kiss to quick hug. He asked me to write the script for his voice pack. Original document can be found here. Again, another Google Doc. Here's the voice pack. All done here. Everything he was saying in the voice pack, word for word, is pretty much, you can, cross-reference it with the actual voice pack stuff. And he says right there, Raziel, Sakura Bloom voice, spring picnic voice. As the name says, it's basically a spring picnic voice pack. It needs to be approximately 5 to 10 minutes long, preferably 5 minutes. And there she sends him the Google Doc. The exact same Google Doc that we have here. It is the exact same name and everything. Nothing has been changed. So it's the exact same stuff that was sent to in 2022. So that's where she's saying, these are the things that I sent. Here is my proof. So far, so good. Now, Luca's birthday 2023 VP handwritten merch. I was tasked with writing the voice pack for his 2023 birthday. Original document can be found here. Another one that was shown there. I was also tasked with handwriting his message and signature for his 2023 birthday merch. As far as I know, a staff member made the Luca signature with his heart around it, and he wanted me to trace it for him so it looked like he did it again, but different essentially. He never gave me a message to write, so I eventually had to come up with one myself. And here's his birthday merch thing. Luca buying himself gold for his birthday, person taking Luca out for the birthday dinner surprise, scenario 3, what Luca really wants for his birthday, and the actual voice pack stuff. Why am I always smiling? Unrelated to other scenarios, handwritten birthday messages. She had everything in there for him. And this is unedited, according to what she's saying. So it says handwritten note, 3 to 4 voice tracks, 1 to 3 minutes, anything. Copy signature, but make it different. Basically, she's telling him, do all this. You can copy it, but make it different enough so that it's you. And here's the Luxium random stuff that she sent for him. It says, you weren't able to do this. The message was my fault. I should have written something for it. And then she responds pretty much the next day. She says, I got done with the 4 scenarios. 1 to 3 is a build up of your birthday. 4 is kind of like a bonus one. Let me know if you want to edit or change anything. Again, the doc for the birthday merch has the exact same, I'm looking at it right now, has the exact same link to it that his birthday merch link has, the one that she put right here. So everything is the same link. Raziel, the Luca thing, and she wrote it for him. I learned it's hard to write with giant nails. I hope it's good enough. I can redo it if needed. So here's also a video from Procreate of me writing the message out. So she even has a video showing that she wrote the message out. And here it is, 26 seconds long, where she's doing everything. She is, making sure it works, writing out the birthday stuff. Wow, she did everything. She's even getting the spacing right. She's doing everything, of course, sped up because you're not going to stay there for the full, whatever, hour or 2 hours that she did writing this. This is just so it can be done really fast. Yeah, she's showing her work. She's showing her notes. She's doing a bibliography here for each and every one of us. So it leads a little bit more credence to what she's saying. 1 million subscribers, handwritten message. I wrote the handwritten message that was displayed on the Nijisanji World Twitter account that presented Luca thanking his fans for 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And there's, the things that were put out there, about the thank you, all that stuff was written. And she says, I joked about getting 1 million subscribers when I first joined. I can't believe I achieved this thanks to you. Please continue to support me more in the future. And he wrote the Japanese part, cursive. And then she wrote the cursive parts of it, including the Japanese cursive part. And everything that he wrote, she wrote it for him right here. Everything that he put there, he put the message, but she wrote it out to him. He didn't do it in cursive. And there it is, going through old clips, showcasing fan art, drawing something, fans, etc. to be updated. Here's a video from Procreate of me handwriting the message again, this specific one. Again, this one is 18 seconds. And there she is, doing everything in Procreate, getting everything just right, getting the Japanese, hiragana, katakana, whatever it is, just correctly, and getting the Luca Kaneshiro little signature stuff done on time. And this, like I said, all of these things lend credence to what she has. She has a lot of notes, and she has a lot of proof here. So this is big. Concerns with any color Nijisanji management plus internal documents that were shared with me. There are multiple times and instances where something would happen and I would ask Luca if they ever received basic public relations training. He would inform me they did not. And we know that now. We know that now. There is no public relations training until now, which they had a crash course recently. Any colors management felt non-existent from what Luca told me. Luca also told me early on in his time in Nijisanji that management told him that he was supposed to be the leader of Luxium, which is weird. To my understanding, staff has 3 channels of communication with Nijisanji Livers. This would be Slack, Microsoft Teams, and Discord. While it was rare I would get screenshots of any internal messages, there were a couple of times I did. One would be about staff showing EN what 3D recording looked like for concerts with a video call. One would be upper management thanking Luca for his hard work through Slack. And the other, already shown above, was asking for a message from Luca for his 1 million subscriber milestone through Discord. So here's the Slack message. Here's the Microsoft Teams message about, the things going on there. And, you can kind of read it. It says, Alban, you're going to perform. The video is kind of laggy on our end, but still amazing. Me smiling right now. Mika smiling right now. Are they really dancing too? Oh no, sorry for the lag. Oh, it's just how screen share goes. That type of thing. To be honest, I bet everything on EN. If EN had not succeeded, I would have been fired. Yoshitaka Fumiko, I guess. So I'm extremely grateful for your daily cooperation. Niji Fest was supposed to happen with Shu, Vox, and Mista getting 3D spot in it back in 2022. Luca and Ike were never informed of this and had to find out via another liver that they would be left out despite everyone else before Luxium participating in it too. You can find the full conversation of this Immature album, included why Luca were excluded. So that's the Immature album that we're looking at right now. This is basically the same thing. It says, I'm Oki though, it's just a little petty. Oh yeah, what happened? Yeah, Niji Fest is happening soon and they're bringing all the girls in Mista and Vox and Shu, but excluding me and Ike, and everyone else after us. Oh yeah, the Japan one? Yeah, that's surprising they're excluding you. Again, 3 out of 5 Luxium is going. I'd be sad too. Why can't we go? I just feel so betrayed. I'll go beat up manager-san for you. So she's trying to be a friend there. Then the Pepe fight. They have given me false hope. Yeah, saying they don't know if Luxium is going yet. Again, saying they don't know if Luxium is going yet. You were so excited when you were talking about it a couple months ago, then they don't say anything and release the announcement on Twitter today with just 3 members. I feel sad that the 3 are going never told us, because I know for effing sure I would fight for all 5 of us to go. Again, I'm just sad about that. I can't believe it. Just tell me I'm not going next time. Sorry, Blank, which is I guess is her real name. This is not surprising now that we know a lot of things about Nijisanji. It is not surprising that they're going to be this way. It is not surprising that people will be, bitter rivals instead of actually being companions. They're actually made to compete instead of actually helping each other out. Yeah, it's effed up in multiple ways. I'm not surprised management handled it that way. I can't wait for people to start asking me why I didn't go to Japan. They always seem pretty disorganized, at least new or young in it. Oh god, yeah. I just don't get it. Why? I don't think it's petty though. I'd be pretty upset. 2, why bring 60% of the unit and just not inform the other 40? Yeah, it's really effed up. That's so heartbreaking. It's always awful hearing S secondhand. F, I never seriously thought of graduating until today. Again, Petra had to mention Vox and Mista were going, and that's how I found out before the announcement, but who cares? F, it's a 3D thing, isn't it? Once again, it says Luxium along with other units would go to Japan in December 2022 and record songs for the AR Live. There was no 3D recorded for this event that I am aware of. The livers were told the event was not cancelled at the time, but rather postponed. The only information they were given at the same time of the public received, which was that it was postponed due to COVID-19. The famed AR Live that is going to happen in April of this year, where of course Luca's not in it and other people aren't in it, and they had to remove Selene, Mista, Pomu, and Nina. They removed them from it, they edited them out from the photos and edited them out from the videos. In the below screenshot, we can see Luca admitting that while in talks with management, they were not used to the livers talking back to them, which caused one of the members of staff to allegedly start crying. So they were not used to backtalk, which happens a lot in EN because we're very individuals. We're big individuals in the English sphere. So they were not used to backtalk so much that one of them started crying, one of the members of management, because they felt, I guess, personally attacked. That is an interesting development. All right. So here we have some conversations between 1BU, which is Luca, and Raziel, which is the person making this document. I'm sorry, oh my God, we're literally arguing with staff about 1 year. LOL, no, like it's bad. We're talking to a vice president. The producer is a big NFT guy. LMAOY, we literally get canceled if we proceed with this. Like, big NFT guy. Oh no, like he wants you to do NFTs for your 1 year? No, like the guy making the song is an NFT guy. Oh, you're just confusing me. Eyes on the song means eyes on the producer, and people are so they'll start making it seem like we support it. Honestly, I don't think NFTs are that bad, but Poppy Playtime did get effed over. They are that bad. They really are. But I don't get what you're saying. I didn't know. The producer's an NFT dude? I thought it was just a meme. Yes. And people at the company are getting mad because of it? No, they are very conflicted because they already have the song, but we don't want to sing it. Because NFT and this S doesn't sound like a 1 year anniversary song. It's more like a K-pop rap again, like Noctix. Just fire Chibi Nyan Holy S. His songs are trash, or whatever his dumbass name is. Yeah, one of the managers are crying because it's a little scary to give harsh feedback we are giving right now, because the guy obviously controls a lot. JP work culture is obviously different, so they are not used to livers talking back. The CEO of any color taking Lexium out for a private dinner. So this proves one of the rats. She says that they actually took him out to a private dinner. Remember, one of the rats was that Lexium got private dinners, they got fancy hotels, they got all this nice stuff, while everyone was just getting, scraps. That's what it seemed like. That's what the rat said, the Grand Unified Rat. That's what the leaker is saying, and this is coming out to be true if these images can be true. The place was too fancy. It's one of those Japanese houses where I had to take my shoes off. WTH, I was escorted by people in kimonos. I was like, WTF. Oh my gosh, what the hell? And we had to sit like on our legs, like an anime. Seiza pose, I guess. Seiza pose. My knees would die. Then it was just like upper management, those millionaires and billionaires. You're a millionaire. And she has the kek emoji. Oh yeah, that's right. But I've had dinner with a billionaire. I swear this guy, the CEO, just rocked up in a hoodie. He's only a billionaire because of you. That happens a lot. He's still an effing kid too, though. Lol. Yeah, lol. Everything was surreal, though. I bet. From being in a car together and a year and a half ago. Bro, you're so effing lucky, but I'm so proud of you. We were just doing our interviews in our room, and we finally see the guy in person. You're like his little pay piggies. Well, that does sound true. And yeah, he's definitely sipping on the Kool-Aid right now. The dinner was basically... It's nice that he arranged all of that, though. We want to support everything you guys do. If you have complaints, let me know. So he tried to be the good guy for Luxium, which was their golden child, pretty much. Their golden goose that stays the golden eggs. Hopefully not empty words and promises, which nowadays we know it's, unless you are part of the in-group, unless you are part of the special peoples, especially love peoples, it's a lie. Yeah, we make lots of revenue for them. Yeah, you're kind of like their lifeblood. Like I said, hopefully he means it and it's not just lip service. Sorry to be so jaded, but I and a lot of other people know have been burnt by statements like that. Of course there are limits, but I really hope they do mean they'll do their best to support you, because it's so far being lackluster, it feels like. I can't wait to hear more about it. It sounds enchanting and like once in a lifetime experience. I'm so happy for you. Real name. So they redact the real name. At least they're doing that. Ending our friendship. This is when the friendship ended, and we are almost to the end of this. We are about like 15 pages away. Ending our friendship, Luca would become too much for my mental health, and I told him I needed to take a break away from our friendship. I blocked him on Discord after I said I needed some breathing room. I let him know if there was an emergency, it was okay to call and text me. After a week or so, I found out that allegedly people were making him uncomfortable, and he started to fall asleep on other Nijisanji Livers streams, something he never had done before. I texted him to see if he was okay. Real name, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Why is that? Nothing, it's fine. I'm sorry, I should have been honest with you, especially with a question like that. I just read that some people were making you uncomfortable and your sleep has been horrible. Falling asleep on streams and stuff. I started to get worried and had to check in. But if you're fine, that's good then. That's all I wanted to know. Aside from my sleep being absolutely terrible, I think I'm okay. I just need to fix myself because it's not going to change if I don't do anything, which is very true. I asked Luca to talk, and that's when he informed me that he was going to London to meet the other Nijisanji Livers. I simply asked that he be safe and just messaged me that he was when he could. He would end up calling, messaging, and Snapchatting me from time to time to talk about food he ate, shopping they did, and such. So they were taking on a nice fancy vacation, it seems like. He did admit he did not kiss Vox when they were playing the Pocky game, and they just pretended for stream. On his way back from London, I informed him of the celebration stream I was having and would be really happy if he could just say hi, not in the Luca account, but in his private account, in which he said he would be there and he ended up not showing up. So he didn't show up. And that's one of the things that led to the end of the friendship, it looks like. Slowly, our friendship grew more and more toxic after this. He would tell me more lies. He would get short and frustrated with me. He would ask me to do more things. I would have to comfort him more often than not, and I felt sick due to the way he acted when I left him alone. He continued to love bomb me. He would promise me things and never fulfill. I would get extremely hurt, upset, frustrated, angry in return. He would continue to victimize himself when he lied and broke said promises. He would once again blame himself for not being enough. It shattered my heart when I had to tell him he was enough and reassure him while constantly being tossed aside and mentally abused. He would threaten to not be my friend anymore, that he couldn't handle me if I didn't change or leave him alone. That was mean. He would still bring up that I didn't watch his streams and that I couldn't be proud of him if I didn't. I reassured him multiple times that I was still proud of him throughout this, all the while doing work for him. He would start by buying me gifts such as Lego sets to replace spending time with me. I would also send him gifts back, such as snacks from the US or expensive clothes. What time we did spend together at this point was him on sleeping call, watching anime, and talking about his next project. He never credited me for projects I did anymore or talk about anything we did like we once did. I was becoming a ghost, and it was happening very fast. So this is where she's starting to worry. Yeah, literal Fujo bait, you're right. He would go to Japan and tell me about his adventures while there. He would lie about random details while there, not for his safety, just for whatever reason, like if he was drinking, who he was with, where he was, etc. I would find the truth about it later on when listening to other livers stream. Again, it wasn't about safety, as he would Snapchat me pictures and send me pictures on Discord of him with other livers and where they were at the moment. I do not know if other livers knew about him sending me IRL pictures of him. So he doxed other livers pretty much with the pictures that he would send of them, not trying to, not see the faces or anything like that. I didn't know if what I was doing would make him upset or not. It was the epitome of toxicity. I was going to therapy and trying different medications to try to feel more normal, as I felt I was the reason he was doing this and I needed to change. I felt that I was the problem, and it was my fault he felt this way. His behavior would isolate me from friends, old and new. This drove me to be codependent on him. My cat, Buffy, I had for 3 years, would die unexpectedly one night. I messaged him for support, and he ignored me to play Minecraft with his new friends again, and again played victim, saying he lost sleep over my cat dying. Lexi, this is, of course, Luca Kaneshiro at this point, R.E. Lexi, I know how much Buffy meant to you. Are you kidding me? Even if I have never met them, touched them, I couldn't sleep with you. Okay, I'm gonna read that one again. Again, this is Luca at 3. Lexi, I know how much Buffy meant to you. Are you kidding me? Even if I have never met them, touched them, I couldn't sleep when you told me about it for like the next day. Again, I did try to be here for the past few days. I'm not trying to neglect anything. Luca and I got matching phone cases. Luca would then go on to accidentally reveal the matching phone case during a hand cam stream. After he messaged me in a panic, I needed to never mention the phone case, and if I had any VODs mentioning it, to delete them. So he was worried now, which is messed up because, like, you're a friend, you have matching phone cases. What the heck? I don't know. Sleep well, Lexi? Yeah, the cookies actually turned out okay. I'm still trying to look for the freaking receipt. Sorry that I lost it. I kind of messed up on stream today and showed my phone case accidentally, so be careful when talking about yours. I think they will know soon. I don't know, Lexi, you might have to hide the VOD where you talked about it. Now he's putting it on her, which is not fair. I found out his cover story was that Ren Zotto had the other matching case. I begged him to just never bring up the phone case again, let it die, don't talk about it, don't tweet, nothing, and let it go, as I was in a very fragile state and still scared of his fans and potential harassment. A week or two later, Ren would reveal on Handcam stream that he had the matching case. So at least that happened. At least they try to do that. This is where, matching phones with Ren, and then their Ren Zotto at least helped there. Ren Zotto clips at least helped there. It got so bad while starting a new medication, I felt something was off. I decided to fly out to my dad's house so he could keep an eye on me, essentially. This was when I would think about seriously committing blank, as I was at least coherent enough to realize I was forming a plan in my head to blank. And that's when I would rush to my dad to tell him who talked me out of it and kept an eye on me for a bit while I talked to my psychologist. I returned home. Luca and I would still be friends, and the toxicity and codependency would continue. He'd get upset at his stream content and what he was doing. He would use me as an excuse to not to stream and then blame me for why he wasn't streaming. This boiled up to the point where he would lie to me about a drinking stream. I asked him if he really wanted to do it, because he would tell me after every single drinking stream he would never do it again because he was so ashamed of what he said and did on those streams. He said he was going to do it, but not drink. Then as it got closer, he said he would drink a little. Until the day of, he would say he would going out to get booze so he could get drunk. But he promised he would only stream for 2 hours when he could hang out. He would get drunk on stream and then stream for 4+ hours. I asked him after why he would lie to me about drinking and the length of the stream. He broke down on me I was scared for his life because of the way he was acting. He completely shut down. He could only scream. I was keeping that and kept repeating that he couldn't do it anymore and that he would never wanted to talk to me again. We talked again after this and more or less repeated that I was too much for him, that he couldn't live up to my expectations, and that I was too stressful for him to be around. So he put all of the blame on her, which would make everything feel worse for her. Of course it would. It would make her feel like she's the problem. I have really made that bad of lies recently. I get it. I gave expectations that I couldn't fulfill, but that's exactly the problem with me. Sometimes I just get carried away and forget. We would exchange diary-esque updates to each other after this for a couple of months, but I noticed it was making me increasingly anxious. I was going through multiple cancer-removing surgeries and didn't have anyone to really talk about this, as he had isolated me. I was still dependent on him. After not updating me on a major life event, that was the last straw that broke the camel's back. I told him this. He showed me pictures of his family golden retriever puppy, which turned out to not be his dog, another lie, and apologized. He told me he still wanted to be friends in the future, just not now, and he needed to sort things out. We would stop contacting each other after that. Since then, he only reached out to me to ask for information for his taxes. He also deleted all of our most recent Discord DMs, where he had taken credibility for how he had treated me. So he deleted those things, which, happens. Raziel, hello, I just got a call from my accountant. I think I need a real invoice for every time I paid you monthly, if that's okay with you. Backdated and everything. I'm pretty busy today and start school tomorrow, but I'll try to squeeze them in this week if I can. 1BU is doing the angry Pepe. Everyone, hello, just a reminder, if you could do those invoices, it would be really great for both you and I. Every single commission money that you worked on with me and I have sent you, because it's approximately blank US dollars. I need it for tax purposes. Hi everyone, my taxes are already squared away and there's no benefit of me doing this. This will not be possible to do at the time. For future commissions, you should make sure you have proper invoices set up. Please do not contact me further regarding business matters, as it causes me severe emotional distress, which is good. She put another border up. She put another boundary up, which is very important. Other big bombshell area, allegations. Aster Arcadia harassing other workers. I can confirm that Luca said multiple girls were coming to him about the issue since management wouldn't do anything, and he discussed it with both Illyra and I. So Illyra is involved again when it comes to all these things. So the fact that Illyra is involved in all these things, according to what she's saying, it is fitting the rat very perfectly. Holy crap. It really is fitting the rat very perfectly here. I personally told him to gather as much evidence as possible and to bring it to management, since it shouldn't be Luca and Illyra's job to regulate this issue. To my understanding, nothing was done about it. To help you with clarity, I remember that incident. It was Aster. That's a text message that was sent to her. Another Nijisanji Liver confirmed by DM the Aster allegations after this had been made public. Luca harassing other coworkers. I also received a message from the same Nijisanji Liver about Luca harassing others inside of Nijisanji EN. The message read, Luca has done a lot of bad things, not just to you, so thank you for sharing your experience. So Luca is known as a problem child, I guess, with inside, which could kind of make sense since Luxium are the golden children, and the golden children a lot of times can get away with a lot more. So that kind of makes sense. They also sent me a message reading, a lot of people waited for you to tell the truth for a while because it had been an issue, so I'm happy you finally did. For their privacy, I will neither share the full screenshot nor name publicly. These messages are what prompted me to make this document. Of course, she doesn't want to dox people because then, people are really going to hate her if she doxes people. Livers dating each other. Okay, that was something I hadn't heard of. Luca would vent about numerous livers dating each other, while some livers dated outside of Nijisanji. There were at least 2 pairs that would end up dating each other that I am aware of. This affected Luca and the other livers due to the unnecessary drama being created and having to hide relationships publicly. One pair would date for a while, even meeting up IRL several times, and to my understanding, ended things amicably. The other pair I knew of would end up dating for a short amount of time due to one side becoming increasingly demanding and vicious toward the other. Luca would ask for my advice on how to handle the situation when they broke up. The next one, harassment and allegations by fans. There has also been slander thrown at me by organized hate groups. I have been accused of being a P and groomer regards to Java. I never knew Java before he was 18. This can be verified in a multitude of ways by many people, including early clips of Rafflegator's channel. The easiest way to get this information is to check the information dates on our VR Legend wikis. They show the character wiki that they have. They show Abby's character wiki, which is another person that they have here. They show Java's wiki, which I'm going to open in another VR chat area. They show Abby's wiki, which is right here. And let's take a look. That's the wiki here. And yeah, it says, the age is 2019, successful return January 25th, 2019. The age, the trivia, all that kind of stuff is there. There's Java personality is the waifu, history, date of birth, 13th and 14th century BC, of course, is what's in there. You can check all this stuff yourself. She has the receipts. And the Java thing in which he went by Java RP as well. Let me also say, that was forbidden in Raffle Gator's stream. The group was big and close enough that any of that and grooming would have been called out years ago. The summary, the big summary. I want to thank anyone who made it this far to hear my story. I want to bring light Luca's subtly problematic behavior in hopes that my story can potentially help those who are stuck in a situation that doesn't allow them to speak up and to let them know they are not alone. In regards to Luca's behavior, I believe his manipulation and abuse follows fairly straight path of lying, guilt tripping, and playing the victim. The lying phase often holds promises he will not keep. When he guilt trips, it may include bursts of anger and rage that leads him to blaming others for why he feels that way. This is what made me become codependent on him. It took me long enough to get over the thoughts like I should have just shut up and listened to him, then we would still be friends, and blame myself for everything. It took months to realize that he very clearly left me with trauma from the emotional abuse and he inflicted on me, and I don't want anyone else to get wrapped up around his finger like I was. I hope the small stories I have to share about Nijisanji Any Colors management helps paint a better picture of what some livers might be going through. Every job is tough, however, having pressure and eyes of these younger individuals have on them and zero support behind them must be emotionally tolling as they navigate this difficult landscape. Java and I shared a lot of fun, and unforgettable memories together. We were best friends for a reason. Not everything was doom and gloom. We loved playing games like Minecraft and building things for each other. We loved watching things together. We loved RPing and streaming with each other. I wish this was a different timeline where I could highlight the joy we gave each other instead. I feel sympathetic towards his fans, coworkers, friends. I know it's frustrating and hard thing to read. I have no issues if you enjoy someone as an entertainer. All I ask is for the same respect that I have given to his fans for the past couple of years. Harassing me changes nothing. Thank you again. And now back here. It says, Okies, you've literally already made like 4 to 5 times as much as did a year at a full-time job. I'm proud of you. Gosh, it actually makes me cry almost when I hear those words. In happiness, yeah, in a good way. You've made it. Real name. A simple, I'm proud of you is something I've always wanted to hear my whole life. That's all. This is your dream. Thank you. Again, a full name. How could I not be proud of you? You worked really hard despite everything and a lot of people wanting you to fail. You're proving them wrong. And that's where this one ends. And yes, it is a long read. It is a strange read. Of course, if you want to take time to look through it, I appreciate it. Also, if you want to take time to take a break, please do that for your mental health. Of course, do not take other people's abuse sitting lightly. Always defend yourself if you can, and always talk to someone if you can about those types of things. This is a long one, of course, and thank you for being here for the whole thing. Thank you for being here. This is all. I know it was a long one, and I hope you do enjoy it, and I hope you move to the parts that you thought were interesting. Have a good night, evening, afternoon. Comment, like down below, subscribe, and also take a look at my socials and what's on the screen for you. Thank you. Bye-bye.